Hey, stop listening! Instead, stream the uncut version of this discussion by either or both, tipping us on Ko-fi or joining a membership on either Ko-fi or Patreon via the links in the description. That's the damage as a result of pushing the button. I'm Barb Howard.
You're back.
Push the button. It's Stabler alert.
Stabler. Stabler.
SVU Stabler.
I was gonna say it was very Chris Maloney.
Chris Maloney. What is a GN
Look.
sound in Italian? Yeah, she got it.
Lasagna.
Yep, exactly.
Lagnado. I don't like it.
Lagnado.
Wrong in my
Nice.
nose.
In the nose.
Well, you don't have to be so
Lagnado.
extremist about it.
We're trying to enunciate it correctly.
I know.
It's funnier when I go, hey, and then,
No,
What
what's
are you-
happening?
Then you have to bleep us.
yeah.
Oh.
But then, I get indignant. It's funny. I'm not really, but I have to hype it up a bit. What are you doing?
We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing programs beyond the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh. Hey, most times, we go deep. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I'm joined by...
CosmoMom09.
Karina at Karina Art on TikTok.
Rob at Rob Stuff and Things over on TikTok and YouTube, primarily TikTok.
Jason, Neo's the one on all the different socials and stuff.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, by the way. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just the gentleman.
Ladies, get bent.
Get wrecked, ladies. And we're here to talk to you about Fallout's 6th episode of its second season, titled The Other Player. Since we're here talking about Fallout, well, hey, if you haven't watched our coverage of the series premiere of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we let you know that we have our Fallout merch in our merch store. If you head on over to squawkingdead.com, head over to the main menu, choose Shop Merch, then choose the new merch. Head over to our Fallout collection. We have a whole bevy of, Jason, love that shirt. Jason,
Yeah.
There you go.
fortunately, grabbed the embroidered The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, Book of Carol Shyamalan, Ding Dong Gay Things, Baby Q embroidered shirt, which is huge. Actually, it's way huger than I thought it would be. Unfortunately for you, that design is off the store. But it'll be back when the season comes back.
Next year.
Exactly. So keep your eye on that store, squawkingdead.com. And yeah, our Fallout merch is here. There's a bunch of print shirts, embroidered shirts, hats that are embroidered with the cool thing that Karina did that
I know, I
worked
need a
into our
hat.
art design. And I hope you take a look at it at the very least. Again, squawkingdead.com, hit the main menu, choose shop merch, and off you go. Tell us what you think at the very least in your comments or reviews. And yeah, we'll move on to this episode, which is titled The Other Player. And hey, it's where Robert House left off. The actual Robert House saying, yeah, there's another player out there somewhere. I wonder who it is. It's probably you. Well, how does the title of this episode work into what we just saw? Rob?
Mr. House, who was saying that it could be Howard, and him confronting his wife kind of does make him now a major player in the events going forward, because he's going to influence his wife either to push the button or not.
Or there's so many other players
I
in this
know.
episode, by the way.
I think so, yeah.
Or, the super mutants. But
That's kind of what I was thinking, actually.
Mhm.
Okay, how about Hank? And
Mhm.
obviously, the super mutant's talking about an incoming war. A war with who? Well, who is really the
Enclave.
ultimate other player?
Dog meat.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that he actually called him dog meat in the episode this time. It wasn't
did.
just
For
the
the first
subtitle.
time, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I thought about in Karina. That's what they call the food, right?
Well, that's
Mhm.
the dog's name in the game. And then you can also pick up dog meat in food form.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
Is it for
Is
Dog
it
meat,
the-
dog
the
meat, or
name-
do you eat dog meat as the player?
No, you can eat it.
You eat it
You
as,
eat it,
as
okay.
the player. Yeah. Dog meat, two separate words for the food, and then dog meat, all one word, is the name of the dog.
Yep. It's been in the X-ray forever.
Yeah.
The ghoul finally calls CX404 dog meat in this episode.
Mhm.
Funny.
Everybody loves it. Dogs love it. Lana 5 loves it. The dog's name in actuality is Lana 5. Can't get enough of it. The
Any other players?
player-
Other players.
Yes.
The Enclave.
Yeah, that's
So
what-
much.
How did we get derailed?
was,
I wanted to get that part.
Yeah, referring to them, this episode of the person behind the scenes,
I think this is the first time, like dog meat, we've referred to the Enclave by name, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is this the first time they sort of alluded to the Enclave sort of running and controlling Vault Tech too? Or is that something we kind of already knew?
I think that's more implied.
It is
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
implied, but I mean, that's not information we knew before this episode, right?
No, yeah, I think it's the
No.
first time they've ever
Okay.
made that connection at all.
Cool, nice, excellent, and makes me feel foolish also after I watched this the first time. So I said a couple of cockamamie things in the last episode, I believe. One of which was, it's Diane Welch. Maybe it is still. I'm willing to make a funny on how crazy I went over Diane Welch. I'm willing to take it on the chin right now in case it comes back around. Like, she's definitely she's the leader of the Enclave. But then I'll be like, okay, for now I'll take the L on that. But then there was obviously who's the guy in the shadows. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did include a screenshot in the YouTube video and Spotify video of that particular scene. I blended the two actual cuts, one of Barb looking into the shadows and showing the figure in the shadows. So I blended it in the same screenshot. And so I said that was Quintus. And if you remember the theory that I said last year, it was like, well, Quintus means 5 and maybe he's the 5th clone of the original Quintus with all his memories, maybe. Because what is that? What is the Quintus? Quintus is weird. It's a weird way. It's a weird name, and it means 5. Anyway.
Maybe it's just his name.
It's not that deep.
Do you know anybody named Quintus?
There are a
Not
lot of
now.
people. Yeah.
Quintin.
No, there's a lot of very unique names that exist and are real.
I'm going to look on the internet. I'm just going to type in Quintus and then put minus Fallout and see what comes up.
Minus. Okay.
Because then it won't show all the results for Fallout. Let's see.
Okay,
what
how many
comes
people
up.
do you think
Okay.
are named Pilot Inspector? I will tell you the answer is more than 0.
Pilot
It's a name.
is a name?
Yes.
Pilot Inspector?
Yep. It's a name.
Is it first name, last name?
Nope. First name.
Pilot Inspector, all one word?
2
Pilot
words.
and Spectre. 2 separate. Pilot, one word.
Nope.
Spectre,
Pilot
the second word.
Inspector.
Oh, Inspector?
Yes.
See,
Oh,
that's what I
that's
was
not what I
asking.
got.
Yes.
Pilot Inspector?
There are at least
Yeah.
3 people on Facebook named Quintus. 4.
Ah, look at that.
Oh, see?
So,
Quintus what?
didn't even look at their last names. You have let's
He
see,
was like, their bots
Quintus
doesn't
Pinder,
count.
Yeah, right.
Quintus Richard Anderson,
There we go.
Quintus Cross, Quintus Crow. Yeah, there's people named Quintus.
Maybe
The name.
instead of saying whatever it is the name, the 5th, they say Quintus Rob.
Maybe.
So let's
This
see
one's name
Rob.
is Quintus
Mm.
Burger.
Let's see.
Burger.
The 5th.
5
He's the
burgers.
5th burger. Blessed be
Ooh.
his name. Okay, anyway.
Also, Pilot Inspector is Jason Lee's son.
Really?
Jason
yeah.
Lee is a bad
Yeah,
person now because of that. And here we are.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Just because he's otherwise, I hear, kind of a great guy. Also loves his privacy, obviously, because he named his kid a bad name. And he's trying to not get backlash for it. I was getting to a point. It could have been Wilzig in the shadows, too. And I think one of you may have said
Yeah, it's
that
another player. Yeah.
Mhm.
in that episode. You're like, oh, maybe it's Wilzig, and no explanation. And I was like, well, could be, I guess.
We found out he worked for the Institute in the first season,
Mhm.
right?
No, he worked for the Enclave.
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked for the
'Cause
organization.
I was going to
that
say
they
maybe
showed-
the Institute works for the Enclave.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
there is some evidence, at least in this episode, of a reference to synths, not the Institute itself, but I'll get to it. I'll
Oh,
show
yeah, I
you
have a note
screenshot
about
of
that
it.
too. Yeah.
I didn't research it, but I saw it in like the poster board leading into Chet's marriage proposal to Stephanie. I did say this to somebody, and I can't remember where, but yeah, it was on TikTok in response to a comment, and I said, the cool thing about this show, but also embarrassing thing, is that for a series that keeps people on its toes, increasingly more and more throughout the season, I keep thinking of wilder and wilder theories. And it's really making me look bad, unfortunately. Bridget would
I'm
say...
here for it because I get really angry when you have these wild theories and they come true. I'm like, this is so dumb.
Oh, no, they made it work.
Did you actually take the pictures of the sphere that you posted?
No, I wasn't in Vegas. I was in New York.
What Jason's referring to is the Vegas Sphere featuring
Hmm.
Justin Theroux as Rob House, which is, hey, that's wrong. It should be, what's his name, Silver, the fake Rob House. Just
It's
saying.
wrong in universe wise, but
Yeah.
not wrong in promotion for the
Of course.
actor you want.
Yeah,
to
we're going to
put on
promote
face.
Justin Theroux. Yeah.
I'll say it. Both of them are very attractive men.
Oh yeah.
It's like a toss-up. You like pick your poison, but hey, this would be respectful to the canon. Then again, Justin Theroux is arguably a bigger name. Rafi Silver is his name. That's the actor who plays fake Rob House. Does a great job. I saw him actually in a clip from an interview, and he said,
Watched hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos.
Really?
I come from drama school, and I like to have a dramaturg. I use YouTube as my dramaturgs. Juiced, Mr. Matty Plays, Oxhorn, Night Raven. I studied every single one of those videos over and over and over, learning about the history of Robert House, his parents dying in a gyro accident, his brother Anthony House, all those things, the voice, the mannerisms, the way it was in the world. Those YouTubers are so dedicated. They were the ones that educated me. And being on set and doing this, I feel like it's my way of saying thank you to them.
really trying to pay homage to the people who played the games. He was very, very adamant about that. So not like that fake adamant. He was very, very passionate about what he put into his role.
Do you wonder if they cast him first before they cast Justin Theroux?
Hundo P, they cast Rafi first.
Do you think he knew he was going to be a fake Robert House going in before they cast for season 2?
Somebody must have asked him that question.
I don't know enough about like the movie
Industry.
business or whatever. Yeah, like to know like if that's something they would have told him ahead of time, or if it would just like, yeah, you're Robert House, and then just didn't say anything otherwise.
What are you calling him?
Rafi Silver?
Rafi. Okay. I thought you called him Raffy. I'm like, I'm
Okay,
pretty sure that looks
this
like
is the whole
Rafi.
Mario versus Mario thing, which is,
Mario.
again, my slightly New Jersey-ish thing compared to the New York thing that I will do. I'll do a long A on things like Mario or Rafi. I'll say Raffy or Mario. It's hilarious to me, even. It'll come out of nowhere. You'd be like, wait. Rachel's
Seriously?
like, I'm going to look up how you should say Rafi. Right? Is that what you're doing?
Is that what you're doing?
No.
And they're texting each other.
Oh, is it the streak? She's trying to keep up the streak. She almost missed her streak this week.
No, we've got
No.
the streak in the bag. It was nothing.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Is it nothing?
I mean, it's something, but it's nothing.
I don't know if it's anything that would interest you.
No.
Would it not?
You gentlemen would. David might.
Probably.
Please clip that for TikTok. That was funny.
Chaos has
What's
reigned.
happening?
I was asking about, do you think he was told ahead of time that he wasn't going to be the real Robert House? And the reason why I asked that question is because you were saying how invested he was in getting every mannerism right and studying for the character. He put a lot of time into it. Do you think he knew that going in? I feel like if you're committed and want to give fans a good experience, you want to do that anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that? Was there ever a fake Mr. House in the games? Did this extra character exist?
We didn't really see the past Mr. House like we are
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
show.
okay.
So I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
We only ever really saw him
Yeah.
on a computer monitor anyway.
I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that he was kind of paranoid, and they may have mentioned something like that, but I don't remember seeing it in the games at all.
Yeah.
He closed himself up in the Lucky 38 so that he could monitor everything and keep himself safe. He closed it to the public. Nobody could go inside at all. It wasn't just his personal quarters that were closed off. It was the whole thing. That's kind of where that idea comes from, I think. So I think it's very likely that he had a body double in the game universe. I just don't remember them talking about it.
I hope
Yeah.
they told
Very
him.
Saddam Hussein.
I hope he
him.
knew.
I do too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, doesn't that fit perfectly, though, for the character that he's playing? Someone who has to mimic Robert House in real life.
Yeah.
Very
to be
much.
so dedicated to the mannerisms and the way he talks and everything else is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
100%. And it could have easily gone either way. It wouldn't have mattered.
It matters to Raffi.
Right.
Because that'd be so
I agree.
disappointing if you were like, oh, I got this role that I'm really want to go all in on and I'm doing this. And they're like, oh, by the way,
Right.
Oh,
we're casting
yeah.
Justin
Actually.
Theroux to actually play him.
You're sort of playing him, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, rude.
I think he's going to get recognized, though, after this
Oh, yeah, of course.
for what he put into that. Justin Theroux, poor guy, first of all. He was the protagonist in The Leftovers, but every other thing, he's been mostly a character actor. for his career. So like this is more of like, you could tell, okay, somebody in casting was like, oh, we can get Justin Theroux for Robert House, but we already have Robert House. But it's Justin Theroux. He was in The Leftovers. Also Jennifer Aniston's husband. So they're like, yeah, he's also arguably way hotter. Arguably. Some people like the Raffis of the world.
I don't know about that.
You ever see him shirtless?
I've seen the other guy shirtless.
Raffi?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. Okay. Wait, how? Are you dating?
Internet.
I didn't think that it would be something that would interest you.
Where would one see a shirtless Raffi Silver? Just curious. Maybe for people, and then I'll put it on the screen.
Internet where you find everything.
On the internet. You know, maybe we should stop here. Probably on TikTok. Is that what you were sending, Rachel?
Maybe.
We cracked the code.
Got to the bottom of that mystery real quick.
Hank Maclean talks about All Quiet on the Western Front, which is a book about World War One, which is not called World War One back then. It was called The Great War. And obviously this series has its own The Great War. But they deal with similar issues, both the book and Fallout. Obviously Fallout does it in its own absurdist, humorous way, but it also has a dark tinge to it. Obviously the earlier games leaned in more into the humor part a little bit more because it was pixely and like with 2D kind of 3D-ish thing instead of the isolinear, as you said, rather than immersive walkable
Open world game.
3D world, etc. It deals with trauma, dealing with the extremities and being pushed into scarcity and all that stuff. But obviously World War One dealt with trench warfare, which really traumatized all soldiers from all sides, but this is from the German perspective. And so it was basically dealing with war, shell shock, coming home, and not being the same afterwards. And of course, this episode, it deals with a couple things. Thaddeus kind of says it best. If I was sitting in a mountain of food, I'd be a good person too. But then this show kind of challenges that a little bit when they go back to Vault 33 with Reg's incest support group and him nihilistically eating all the snacks for his own ego, I guess. And then you see it again when it comes to Hank. Hank, in his own way, is trying to say, hey, well, listen, I'm healing these people. These are traumatized people. If you read the book all the way through, you'd understand that these people are never going to have a normal life because of what they've had to face in the wasteland. So I'm a humanitarian. I'm giving them purpose and a safe place to be. Like I said, this series does a really, really good job of tying in different themes that bounce back from different perspectives. I really wrestled with this episode, I have to say, because it really, really challenged my perceptions of, well, going back to the snake oil salesman, which I've seen theories about him possibly being the courier or courier 6 or however you want to call it. Hank asks, would you like to forget everything you've ever remembered? He's like, yes, please.
Yeah, like, please, immediately.
Like, yeah. And so there you go. What would you do to forget some of the worst things you've ever had to go through? And knowing that Thaddeus is an example of, well, have you ever met a good person? No? Oh, okay. It boils down to, is Hank right or wrong? And in all the ways in which he's right and wrong.
He makes a compelling argument just by showing when he has the two. He's like, oh, yeah, she says, let him go. And the two
as is
from Kaiser's Legion, as they are, and they start fighting each other. And then immediately when Lucy pushes the button, he's like, oh, let me help you, friend. That looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, showing that juxtaposition is like, this is what they're doing out there to each other. But I can make them actually treat each other with kindness and stuff, but they have no autonomy. So there's that
enforced politeness.
Yeah.
Because he offers the snake oil salesman to erase all of his memories. And yet the people working in the office seem to have an understanding. It seems to suggest that they have a memory of what it was like in the wasteland and what they used to do. Because he's like, oh yeah, she used to be kind of a murderer. And she's like, yeah, I guess so. And like, so did he not erase their memories? Or is that just something that he did for the snake oil salesman? Or has he implanted memories or ideas as part of this no autonomy deal where they have thoughts implanted into their mind like, oh, the wasteland is bad and scary, like you should be afraid of it and you should want to stay here?
I'm more inclined to say the latter. I don't think they have actual memories. I think it's like what you said. He probably just said, oh, hey, by the way, you used to murder people and this is way better than that. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, sounds good.
That makes a lot more
There's
sense.
also the idea of he asked the snake oil salesman, "Do you want me to do this?" And
Yeah.
he said yes. The other ones, he's not asking them. He's just putting the thing on the neck and then just turning the button.
Yeah.
He's not
He was
sitting them
kind
all
of excited.
down.
He was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
I didn't get the impression that anyone else had a choice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to draw a parallel between the reaction that Maximus had when he got to experience what vault life was like. He was ready to give up everything and stay there because it was so much nicer than what he experienced in the wasteland. And a similar thing is happening with these people that Hank has rescued or indoctrinated or whatever he's done to them. They're not wanting to go back. And that's why I question whether or not they actually remember the wasteland or if this is something that he's implanted in their minds. Because anyone who's grown up in the wasteland will understand how difficult it is. And if they're given the option, you can stay here in this nice, secure, climate controlled area, well fed, and all you have to do is sharpen pencils all day long, and you don't have to murder people for food and fight for your life every single day. That seems like a fair trade-off to them. They don't know any better. They'll just take whatever they can get that keeps them safe. That seems easier, even if it means losing their autonomy.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that he's altruistic. He's not really giving them much of a choice. What kind of choice is that? Live a horrible life or have no free will whatsoever, but not have to scrap for everything.
Arguably, the snake oil salesman didn't really have a choice to begin with. He already brought him to the facility and sat him down. He asked him, but he was going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he was gonna
popped a
give
bunch
up.
of guys' heads anyway. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he never
like,
really had a choice.
if the answer was no, would his head have just exploded? Like he
Right.
mastered it a long time ago, and he's just been blowing people's heads off. Like,
It was nicer for us viewers to know that the snake oil
Mm.
salesman had a choice.
yeah, maybe.
We love the chicken raping snake oil
Oh, yeah.
salesman.
I mean,
That very sentence alone is kind of like,
come on, David.
who are we as a people? Anyway,
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people saying that that's their favorite character, and I don't
I know.
quite understand it, but like
Oh,
I've
he's
seen a lot of
I'm
it.
kind of with them, but at the same time, it's like
I'm a fan of the actor.
I judge myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
He's got that right
Yeah.
degree of it's so over the top and it's such
Yeah.
comic relief that it is funny when he's there, but I wouldn't call him my favorite character, that's for sure.
If we had to watch an entire hour of that character, people would get very tired of him very fast.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he works
I
in
mean,
small doses.
I would probably watch 1 hour of him.
Just one.
Straight?
Just one.
Well,
Kind of have to break it up. a little.
interacting with other people. But yeah, I like the character because I like the actor, and I think he's doing a
Mhm.
very good job portraying this
Oh, absolutely.
crazy.
Even the
I'm not
mind
going to
control
say what
version of
David
him.
said.
Well, it's just a remnant. You know, it's like a.
I
It's a
know,
thing
but
we
like,
know.
It's something
thing
he
we know.
did.
he's done
He did. Yeah. Excuse me. Maximus almost pounded him. Wow. Poor
He might have
choice of
liked that.
words. Yeah. With his power armor? That's how he found him.
Well, I
was
mean,
it?
he's kind
Yeah,
of
it
in love
was.
with Fisto, right? So
I was going to say,
think
just
I
ask
would have
Fisto.
enjoyed that a lot.
Mhm.
Lord. I think really to link both scenes, kind of really elucidate what you're saying also, Karina, is that all you would really need to do is get these people to forget the wasteland or what it's like in the wasteland. If you can erase that part, right? Because that's how that was introduced as, hey, snake oil salesman, we're going to call instead of the other thing. Would you like to forget everything you ever learned in your life? And he's like, yes, because the wasteland is actually horrible. Well,
Mhm.
let's repeat that. And see, this answers Thaddeus' question. It's not really about privilege, right? It's not really about growing up in a vault. It's about, hey, if you didn't have to deal with all of this wasteland, how it's like, would you choose that? And what would your life be like without that? Well,
Mm.
I'd get to start over and maybe I'd actually be a nice person. And hey, instant politeness. They forget about the wasteland. They forget about all their squabbles and what they're supposed to hate, what they're supposed to do, and who they're supposed to kill, as Hank said also. That's all Hank would really need to do, wouldn't it? Just forget the wasteland.
He's also taking from groups of people who are arguably not in the best possible position. So people as part of the Legion are living a very difficult and violent lifestyle. More than likely, the other people that he was talking about, you used to murder people. She was probably a raider. You know, he's taking people who have it the worst off and saying, look, I'm elevating their lives. But what if he did that to the people of Shady Sands?
Right.
They were living a very nice life, making clean water, growing food. I don't think that they would be as willing to accept this zero
absolutely
autonomy
not.
trade-off. So he's claiming that he's some kind of savior for the people of the wasteland, and maybe to some extent for some groups that might be a good trade, but I don't think it would work for everybody.
We also know that
Not in
this
the long
device
term
is
either.
controlling. He can make
Yeah.
them
Just
do
the dark
whatever
side
he
of it.
says. The people
Darker.
of Shady Sands, yes, they were doing great, but they are not going to do what he says without these little
Right.
devices. So he couldn't let them survive.
I wonder how he's getting people.
I think the snake oil salesman was bringing them back.
How is the snake oil salesman going to bring back members of
Well,
Kaiser's
one at a
Legion?
time. At
And
first,
then
one
the
at a
more
time.
numbers you have, the more
Yeah.
people can grab other people.
Yes.
That's true.
true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Especially the ones that
Legionnaires.
are still like Legion, to go to the rest of their Legion people and be like, hey, we found
That's
this
a good
place with all
point.
this
Yeah,
food
okay.
and everything, and then just lure them back super easy.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see some flashbacks.
That would be really cool, Jason. A little montage of flashbacks.
Yeah, how he rounded them up.
You brought up Shady Sands. Like, I don't think they would appreciate being converted. I can't stop thinking about how, okay, now Max and Thaddeus found the ghoul. The ghoul wants to go to this Vault-Tec R&D facility of some kind where the premium executive cryopods are, where Barb and Janie Howard are. And of course, one of the things that we said was, what would Maximus do to Hank if he found out that he was the murderer of his family?
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I don't think he still knows that yet, does he?
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
That's something they found out after they arrived at the NCR base where Moldaver was holding her father, and that was revealed afterwards. And Max and Lucy had split up by that point because he had to go back to Quintus.
Right. And Dane kind of surprised him, like, oh, you slayed Moldaver. Not really.
Yeah.
Didn't really do it.
No.
Hank did that. Because Lucy can't do it. Are we all in agreement? Lucy just can't and won't kill. She doesn't even kill
Yeah,
the
I don't think
Legionary.
she's going to be able to do that to her father. That would be really shocking, though, if that is the one person she's able to actually kill, would be her dad. I would be shocked.
He might push her to that point.
Yeah, no, but that's
I
what I'm
don't know.
saying. If it would be Maximus, is what I'm saying. And he would again be stepping in it, because how would Lucy feel about that?
Yeah.
If I were Lucy, with all her memories and all that, like, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, I can feel two things. She clearly loves her dad. She clearly is having a hard time. But if Maximus were to come in and do that, you can feel two things at once. Or maybe even the one thing would be too much for her to bear, for her to have any sort of feelings for him, one way or the other.
If her dad were about to, or if it was looking like he was going to kill Maximus, do you think she could step in and take out her dad?
If she went after her dad, for that purpose, sure.
Right. To save Maximus, would she take her dad out?
Especially if she was
100%.
Yeah, I think so.
threatening somebody who's of no threat to him. Yeah, probably. I
Yeah.
think she could.
She'd try to shoot him in the ass, though.
If Thaddeus and Maximus and the ghoul make their way down to that vault and Hank tries to put the little box on Maximus, would Lucy
Oh,
jump
gosh,
in and
yeah.
save him?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
I
but
just got like
probably.
a pit
I'm
in my
with
stomach thinking about how that could happen. I'm like, oh,
Did you hear all the noises I made?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, oh, I hadn't considered this.
He's had a hard life. And obviously, I'm going to embody Bridget for now. Heck no! Take away my freedoms.
He
Yeah.
also mentions to Thaddeus that he has memories of good people from Shady Sands,
Yeah.
where Thaddeus mentioning that he's from the Boneyard, which, by the way, is the ruins of LA. It's known for being especially rough, even compared to other places in the wasteland. So Thaddeus likely has never actually experienced a genuinely nice person in his life.
And he's from the crap side of the boneyard.
Right, the bad side of the Boneyard.
The S-hole, which
Yeah.
was in the first season. The S-hole side of the Boneyard. That's where Lucy was traveling across with Wilzig and then Wilzig's head. Do you remember?
I don't.
Right.
We saw
And then that's where the
this
radio
area?
station is on the other side of that.
Oh.
All I remember is the CCP module
I think you're right, Dave. Yeah, because
where they
Lucy's
finally had to take off
Vault
Wilzig's
33
head.
is
That.
in LA.
Yeah,
Oh.
San
From
okay,
Diego
yeah.
something
specifically.
from what
Okay.
I read.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she would have had to pass by it.
So they had to go through the S-hole to get to the Mojave.
That said, I did want to bring up the fact that because Thaddeus hasn't seen any genuinely nice people, some of the things that he's been doing in his own way is probably the most altruistic thing that he's ever seen in his life. Yes, he's running a sweatshop with the kids, but he's doing such a good thing, and he's not a mean overseer, and he's actually kind of nice to them. And he even
Taskmaster.
he even stood in front of them to try to keep them from getting shot up by the Brotherhood of Steel by Harkness. Considering the area that he grew up in and the kind of person that he could have turned into, he's doing pretty good, being as good of a person as he could expect for that kind
Inventing it along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's exhibiting the golden rule, right? He's treating others the way he wanted to be treated.
Like if he would have had somebody like him in his life as a kid, maybe he wouldn't be so terrible.
That's a great point, by the way.
David, you said something earlier about being nice. And I think there's a huge difference between being a good person and just being nice. And I think a lot of people in the wasteland, we could consider good people given their circumstances. They don't have to be nice to do what
Majun
needs
and
to be
Barb
done.
decided to give them, they're like, yeah, if you need any supplies, just take them. And Barb tried to give her a hard time about it. And she's like, I'm trying to be a better person. I wouldn't necessarily say that she was nice throughout any of those interactions, but she does seem to be a good person. And she did genuinely help Lucy in season 1. She didn't have to do any of those things, but she did.
Yeah, see, good person.
Yeah.
Well, and then the reverse of that is Reg McPhee and his group. He's a nice person, but he's not a good person.
No, yeah.
There you go.
He says all the right words.
Exactly.
Nice, but not good. Very selfish.
The other player.
The other player.
He's the other overseer.
I mean,
I can't wait for Betty to crush this whole little insurrection rebellion that's happening. Oh my gosh, I can't stand these people.
My gut says, I think she's going to try to see if Stephanie will take them and just leave all those people to their own devices.
Yeah.
And maybe even get the FEV experiment.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, the Jamie and the Cersei in that group are grossing me out.
Okay, you're talking about the two
Are
gingers?
they?
Yeah.
They're just openly yikesing.
Yeah.
Gross.
But it's just like the chicken raper. It's
They're
so
way
absurd.
worse.
Okay.
And the fact that they didn't even have to get checked by the bouncer.
They're
Little
like,
incest
just-
club, they're like, just go in. Just like,
They're
yeah.
literally brother and sister, I think.
That whole sequence, though, when he sits down at the piano and he like has this whole vision of them.
That was so
I was
funny.
Oh my
like, what
gosh.
is happening?
I knew immediately that he was
Yeah, yeah.
imagining it.
100%.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice the visual tell that he was
Yes.
completely imagining it?
Scream.
No, say it with
Yeah.
words because people don't
I
know.
can't.
The aspect ratio closed in.
Okay.
So in the first season, Cooper Howard's Vault-Tec black and white commercial, right? Because all the TVs are black and white.
Mhm.
It was in 4:3, which is the TV resolution, the squarish 4:3 ratio. And then when it went back to cut, like they wrapped, they went slowly back into letterbox, which is basically what we're seeing Fallout in. It's anamorphic widescreen. It's 23:9, I think it is. So it did that here too. Had the grainy-ish footage of him doing it too. First of all, visually great. It tells you cinematically what we're seeing. You're still kind of not sure what's happening. Like, is this for real? But then you realize it's completely not.
We know it was in his head. It was what he wanted to happen.
Did you enjoy it?
I definitely joined. Yeah, I was rocking out. It was like a little rave in there. I was enjoying the party.
Uranium Fever is one of the best songs. I love
Okay,
it.
I'm glad
It
you brought
was.
that up. Yeah, because that song is
Yeah.
in the game, right?
Mhm, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's in 3, New Vegas, and 4. I'm pretty sure. It seems so familiar to me. I'm pretty sure it's in all of them.
Huh.
Yeah, when do they play it?
You can listen to the radio on your Pip-Boy, and there's a couple different stations that you can choose from. Usually Galaxy News Radio. Galaxy News is from Fallout 3. Diamond City Radio is from Fallout 4. And then New Vegas, I don't remember the radio stations, but I'm pretty sure it was in there too. There's quite a few really good bangers that come on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this season, we had Big Iron, which is specifically from New Vegas because it's more of a Western theme type of song. And then Uranium Fever comes on all the time, along with some other ones. I don't know the names of them all, but when I hear them, I recognize them immediately.
Nice.
The radio was one of the things that introduced me to Fallout because my older brother was playing New Vegas when I was young. And I would hear this radio station playing from his room. And I remember going in there like, why are you listening to this
Old
this
soul.
weird
50s
Yeah.
Western music?
Like,
And
what
he
is
was like, oh, I'm
happening?
playing this game. I was like, what is this game? And I sat down and just watched him play New Vegas for hours.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into Fallout to begin with. So
That's what I love about when they put one of the songs over a big action sequence because you can have your radio on 24/7 in the game and it just plays in the background. You can adjust the volume or whatever, in the middle of a shootout with some raiders or whatever, and Big Iron is playing, or Uranium Fever, or that bongo song or whatever. It's like, bingo, bango, bongo, I don't want to leave the jungle.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, that was great. Like
Nicely
some
done.
ridiculous
That's actually
song.
nice.
Like,
Are these songs specifically created for the game?
No, they're
No,
actual
a lot of
songs
them are
in
real
life.
songs. Yeah.
yeah.
No exceptions.
No exceptions? I thought for sure there were some
No
that were just
exceptions.
for the game. That's crazy.
I did too. And then I keep looking them up and I keep thinking, oh, this is how crazy these times were, especially like the Uranium Fever.
Yeah.
Crawl Out from the Fallout was not made for the game. It was a thing
That is
was sung.
crazy.
Oh,
I feel like it'd be way less expensive to make your own music
well, it would be
than to
less
like
expensive.
buy the rights. Yeah.
A lot of these songs, the rights for them are probably actually pretty cheap or they're in the public domain because they're so old.
Yeah, they're so much older.
That's true too.
It's possible.
It might be
I
public
think
domain,
public domain
yeah.
is 75 years.
Mhm.
So
Is it?
So
it
Oh, wow.
wasn't
getting
quite-
close for some of them.
yeah, it changed. It might be 50 now. I know that's changed.
okay. So yeah, that didn't really answer your question, Dave, but I really did like the scene, and I
I'm
was
giving
a
you an
little bit
opportunity to
sad
talk
when
about it.
when it was over. And
You were
realizing
sad.
that, yeah, I felt a little
But then
bit
you
bad
realize
for
he
him.
was a dirtbag, so you know.
Yeah,
Oh, man, it's
I
so
don't know.
much.
I was
And an
sympathizing with him
incestuous
up until he
dirtbag.
shoved that food in his mouth, and then I kind of got on Betty's side.
Okay, so having watched that scene, having delighted in it, and then realizing maybe what it was, let me throw this out there. Do you think this is kind of that Machiavellian sort of reveling in his own genius sort of thing? This, I'm having a time in my life, didn't know things could be this good, being in charge technically, trying to like figure out the feeling of this. And even though he's not getting the acknowledgement, because clearly he's done playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and they're like, okay,
Whatever.
I think Reg desperately wants to just be important. I think in his mind, by starting this incest club, everybody'd be like, oh, this is great. We're finally being recognized. And they would give him all the credit for organizing it. I don't think that's exactly what's happening.
I agree. I think
In
that
his
he's
mind, it's exactly what's
conflating
happening.
their interest in it because it is a snack club, as Betty mentions. That's why they're there. They're not there because they like Reg and think he's popular, even though he's confusing the two things as being one and the same. It's so popular because I put it together and people want to come see me. Like Rachel said, that's not really what's happening. They're there for the food and the water. Like,
And to that point, he actually kind of knows that deep down because he knows without the snacks, they don't come. That's why he's
Which is
fighting
why
so
he's
hard to
fighting
keep
so
the
hard,
snacks.
yeah, he's doubling down on the
Yeah.
snack budget.
Mhm.
He's that kid in elementary school that brought candy and would buy his friends with candy.
Yeah.
perfect. Because then the scene where he's having a ball and they're synchronized snacking. Well, that's the best way I could put it.
I love it though.
It was really good.
It was
was good.
perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. That could just be him convincing himself that it's him.
Mhm.
So now,
Mhm.
Jason, I feel bad for him again.
That's okay.
I gotta say. And I called him a bad person. And really, he is.
He's
But
sad.
now they've gotten, yeah, he's a sad, bad
He's a
person.
sad bad guy.
You guys, in talking about this, you've gotten me on the other side of, okay, well, then everybody thinks they're the good guy. Everybody's gray, morally speaking. Okay. Thanks for making me feel bad about myself for calling him out. Because you get angry. You get like, don't you know this is the apocalypse, right? This is me in a Wegmans at the start of COVID yelling at my wife, we need a sweet potato. And I'm like, well, just get a regular potato. The dish needs a sweet potato. It's the apocalypse out there. You don't need a sweet potato. And then I had to apologize a second later. I don't know where that came from. Felt like Shane Walsh there for a minute from The Walking Dead. And it felt mean.
Yelling at your wife over a sweet potato, Dave. Oh my gosh.
I know. Horrible human being.
Reg is speaking his whole monologue that he has to justify his behavior, and it's coming from an extremely narrow viewpoint. He has no perspective on what life is like outside the vault. He's no concern whatsoever for what it means if they run out of food and water. He only cares about his status in the vault because it's all he's ever known. Can you blame him though? He doesn't know these things because he hasn't experienced them. We've got to remember these people have grown up inside this vault their entire lives. They don't know anything about anything else. All that matters to them is what's happening in the vault and who knows who and what rank you have or whatever. So as infuriating as it is, it's hard to say he's inherently a bad person. I think he just doesn't know any better. And Betty does. What really got me was he's like, our ancestors got here by thinking about themselves first. And in Betty's mind,
He's not wrong.
he's not wrong. But the thing is, the whole wasteland exists because their ancestors were thinking about themselves first and not what they were doing to the world and where this greed was taking them. In his mind, I'm sure he's thinking they got here because they got themselves into a vault and saved themselves because they were thinking about themselves first. But because Betty can't really exactly reveal that she's pre-war, she can't exactly say, you don't know how right you actually are, but just in the wrong area. None of this would be the case if everybody would have just stopped thinking about themselves for a second.
To that end, Reg is kind of like more perceptive than he gives himself credit for. On a level, right? He doesn't know the extent to which he's right.
Perceptive, though.
Yeah.
He knows this much. He knows as much to say, right, about the vaults. They put themselves first. Maybe he's thinking they were smart enough to know that things were going south and thought of themselves enough to be conscientious enough to be in a vault, but also to his credit and not accidentally, like Hank, you Vault 31ers are different and I'm going to sniff it out. And maybe this is his act of rebellion against all the 31ers that came before him that told him what to do this whole time. I didn't see the Weevil famine for myself. I didn't know what that was about. I was a kid, probably, maybe even, but still. And that's like us, by the way. Rachel, right? We've yelled at our parents. They kept telling us how bad things can be. Remember when your parents told you life is unfair?
Yes.
And you're like, that doesn't make sense because you gave me rules to follow. But we didn't understand it. We couldn't grapple with it. You're like, you're dumb. Life is fair. You give me rules. I follow them. And then I get a pat on the head. Or maybe, I'm just simplifying it. But when you get to be like, 30?
I live for those pats on the head, dude. I live.
I like pats on the head. Who doesn't like a pat on the head? Really? You're like, stop patronizing me, but at the same time, you're like, feels pretty good, actually.
Please.
Yeah, please pat my head. Also stroke it.
Can we talk about the fact that Vault 33 got a defective water chip?
They talked about it this episode.
Yep, on purpose.
Yep.
It wasn't just a faulty chip.
Nope.
Yeah. So Betty has known this whole time that her own vault was going to be defective.
I don't know that
don't
she
know
knew
if
that
she I think so.
specifically.
knew.
I think the higher ups at Vaultec chose which vaults would get the faulty chips, or possibly just chose which ones wouldn't get the faulty chips and then just let those go out to whatever. But yeah, that's a good point because in Fallout 1, the whole catalyst is to go get a missing part for the faulty water chip because it broke. So the original Fallout has to do with this busted water chip, which turns out apparently they knew all about already. Are we surprised?
I am very shocked because what he said was, hey, good news is we know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Before we put them in the vault
Before the
that they'll be
installation.
faulty. The better news is we get to choose which ones get it rather than not put it in the first place.
That's
you know,
my
it's
thought. I'm like,
a-
if you can tell before it happens which one's going to do it, then why even use those?
Yeah.
just goes to show that hashtag Reg is right. Reg didn't do anything wrong.
How many vaults are there total?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
I
did we
don't
talk
know.
about this last
Exists.
season? Triple digits.
So I think the highest vault number I've heard of is 107.
There are 122 documented vaults. There could be more.
Documented. Okay.
As of right now, the highest number we know of is 122.
Gotcha.
122 is the highest number you've heard.
That's the amount of documented vaults as of current lore. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, I was thinking much higher than that.
It could be.
Possibly. If they make a new game, they'll probably add some new vaults.
And he said 30% of them are faulty.
They
So
had
like
the faulty
over
water chip,
30
yeah.
vaults are gonna just not have water.
Well,
Have messed up
40.
water
A
chips.
lot.
Yeah.
21,
Even by
22,
this
yeah.
point in the timeline with the show, a lot of vaults are just empty and dead for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even just
Yeah.
water chips that's going to do it.
Point taken.
It could be all
Maybe they
kinds
have
of
a good
things.
water chip. Get one from them. Go get Gary's water chip.
Gary.
Gary!
Karina.
Gary! You're a Fallout fan? Name every Gary.
Gary. Gary.
Gary!
Gary.
Now, pretty much all the games and the show take place in the United States. So I'm wondering if there's other vaults outside the U.S. as well.
Yeah, I wonder.
Good
That's
question.
good to know. Yeah, I would be
They want
curious
to make
know that
money
too, because Fallout is a very America-centric game. I don't know if Vault Tech was strictly an American-based company. Maybe they wouldn't have wanted to work with other countries. I don't know. Greed is
That's a good
powerful,
point.
though.
They're manufacturing the end of the world, especially as we're seeing in the show. They could have been the ones that dropped the bomb. So wouldn't it be in their best interest to just sell to everybody anyway?
This is true.
Yeah. And that's kind of what was implied with the CCP soldiers. We get your runoff, which is interesting because you wouldn't want to test it out on your own people first. You'd think you'd want to test these things out on other people first, but there you go.
So Reg is sad, bad, but Steph is just bad, bad. And what did she do to Woody?
Yeah, where's
Right.
Woody now?
Exactly. In Vault
Missing.
32, right.
Yeah,
I love how Reg and
Interesting.
Woody are both very perceptive, but not enough to know everything.
right.
And we didn't see her at all this episode. I wonder why, actually.
Well, she's off
Considering-
murdering Woody.
Oh, right. Chopping up
Disposing of a
into
body.
pieces. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, maybe. Or maybe experimenting with Woody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
That'd be,
like that.
yeah, that'd be sad.
But he'd be a super mutant.
Plot
Maybe.
twist. They're romantically
Right.
experimenting.
Oh my gosh, get our hooks into another one. Dane is like
I'm
contemplating that
jealous. I'm
possibility.
just saying I'm jealous. Just jealous, actually. That's all. What can I
Stephanie
say?
has definitely been the biggest disappointment for me. Because when we first meet her, I liked her. She took
Oh,
the
yeah,
fork
I
to
see.
the eye, and I'm like, yeah. And she kept
Yeah.
fighting, and I was like,
She
heck
was,
yeah,
like,
I
shooting
love
into the
this
crowd. Yeah.
chick.
Like,
Yeah,
She keeps
I
going.
know. She was,
she got
awesome.
weird.
you know, and then things just went
It's
really
so weird
downhill.
that I'm more attracted to her like this than I was at first.
It's a little weird.
Oh
Dave.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
It is. I'm admitting
David
it.
likes a domineering woman, apparently.
Yeah.
Mm.
She obviously went through a change when that happened to her, and it made her feel more empowered to do what she's doing.
Well, we also discovered that she may be either a spy. We don't know what that's
There's
about.
that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did she also come from Vault 31?
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
All right. So she knows something.
She
She's
knows
got the know-how.
something. We haven't seen her in the past, which I find very interesting
Yes.
or telling. And I feel like they're keeping that in the pocket for as long as they can.
Yeah. Good point.
How does that fit
That's
in?
why
And does she sneak past everybody
couldn't remember
to get there?
if she was from Vault 31. Because so far, the people we've seen in Vault 31, we know are from pre-war. So where's she?
Yeah, the junior execs. Bud Askins is the senior junior vice president.
Yeah.
Really?
Something crazy.
He's the upper junior vice president.
Yeah.
There is probably
Sure.
a
Upper
junior vice
junior.
president.
Sure.
And
And
there's
then a lower junior vice
there's a
president.
minor,
Yeah.
which goes to what Rob
Secondary.
House said. It's just a conglomerate
Bureaucrats.
of
Conglomerate
bureaucrats.
of
Thank
bureaucrats.
you. Thank you, Rob.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Bud Askins for you.
I wanted to say one more thing about Steph.
Did you just say one more thing?
About Steph.
Okay.
I did say just one more thing. So we know she's from Vault
I love it.
31, but she's considerably younger than Betty and Hank. She wasn't thawed at the same time. She woke up later? Question
I'm
mark?
guessing. Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume so.
I just wonder how old she was
Why?
when she was
Yeah.
Oh.
frozen.
We calculated at least her age from the ID, which I think was about 31 to 34, something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on
at the time.
thaw
Sorry,
date.
what was the
Yeah.
date of birth on the ID? And we know the bombs dropped in 77,
A
right?
day before my birthday, so
Mhm.
15th of
Okay.
February, 2045.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was about 32.
Okay. So she was thawed fairly recently.
I would think
Well,
so.
who knows? That's why I said 31 to 33 or 34. And I'm
Yeah.
also taking visual cues. Also, I have a heavy interest in knowing exactly how old she is. Listen, you guys can do it about Rafi
gosh.
Silver. Why can't I do it about
David-
Stephanie Harper?
David, I'm gonna
A fictional character. See, I know the
I'm gonna
difference.
send you this picture.
You have no idea how
probably like
many
it.
You really would.
people we talk about who are age appropriate or not age appropriate.
Yes,
Age
but
appropriate.
we make it very
only.
clear if they're not.
It's hard to be a good guy because you have to like literally find out the ages of the people you may make a comment about. You probably won't because sus.
I just don't make comments
See,
to people
That's
on the
probably
internet.
good.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why
that's
Karina
probably a
and I
good
keep it
idea.
between us. We don't.
Yeah.
I'm not like on
We're
their
a safe
pages like
space with each other.
Yeah.
You're not blowing it up on
Being
Twitter
weird.
or TikTok. Like,
Exactly.
thirst traps.
yeah.
I sent her
Ralphie
one, and
Silver.
I was like, "This one's age appropriate," and she's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I looked it up. Like, it's fine."
I'm sure Dave has noticed, like, because he's friends with me on Facebook, is that I don't really post anything on Facebook. I scroll Facebook all the time, but I don't post anything there. And all my TikTok content is strictly this.
Yeah.
Since we're in Vault 32, let's go to the cool and interesting things on the corkboard. The top left corner. Meet up at the shooting range. It's a Pip-Boy with a sniper rifle. Meet up at the
Nice.
shooting range Tuesday right after lunch. We'll be practicing with the 50 cal rounds. Bring the kids.
Okay.
Underneath that, there's a poster for Lost. One copy of Dean's Electronics.
I have something to say about that.
I thought you might, so please return to Davey. Our Davey.
Davey.
Lear
So,
Leary.
So Dean's Electronics is a skill book that you can find in Fallout. Fallout has a variety of different skill books. Grognek the Barbarian will increase your strength.
The
Dean's
comic book.
Electronics. Yeah, so Dean's Electronics, I believe, is going to increase your science skill. But Askin's desk is covered in Grognek comics and other skill books.
Yeah.
The drawer that Hank opens to give the handcuffs to Lucy, there is a book called Welding Data Book, which is not technically a skill book from the games, but it definitely reminded me of one. So I don't know if they were trying to make a parallel with that, or like why they wouldn't just put a Dean's Electronics in there or something.
It could be from
True.
an earlier game.
Welding's going to
Possibly,
come up
yeah,
later
that
or
could
something.
be. Yeah, I mean, I was on the Fallout wiki trying to look it up to see if it was one that I just didn't recognize, but I don't
see.
know. One of my favorite ones, just as an aside, is Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor. Like, I just like the name of that book. So I'm always excited to
Author
find one
Bud
of those.
Askins. Oh, the one underneath that was Pipe Curious.
Pipe Curious.
It's like Bi Curious.
Mhm.
Nice.
So,
Not
or
touching that
laying pipe. Ooh. So I guess it's a plumbing group.
Sure.
It's Thursday at 3 p.m. Shows a Pip
Be
Boy
crafty.
with glasses and a wrench. And obviously
The
there's
Vault
the
Boy,
Stefan
not Pip Boy.
Vault Boy. I keep saying Pip Boy.
Yes.
Damn.
Pip Boy is
In
the
my
device you
notes.
wear.
Too. Yeah, you're right.
He's been wanting to call the Vault Boy Pip since the beginning. So it would be cute if his name was Pip, but it just isn't. Like, I
It's
want it
great
to be true, but
At
expectations.
it's
this
not.
point, it's Cooper.
yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
Cooper.
Coop. It's Coop.
Well, but it's the exact opposite of Coop. Coop is black haired and tall, and this guy's short and blonde haired. Let's just erase the memory of Cooper Howard. Just
True.
erase it with this Vault Boy, not Pip Boy.
Oh, yeah, probably there.
So Steph and Chet are getting married tomorrow in the atrium at 3 p.m. And also, as you go to the scene, well, everybody
Yeah.
knows, but Chet's completely unaware. You already see them setting up the picnic tables and the flowers and the little archway,
Mhm.
Mhm.
similar to what we saw in the first season, the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's revealed to us because we don't know any better because we're Chet in that moment. We're like, oh, what? What? Moving on. Bottom right. Need a compliment? Take one. It's a little
That's
tear
cute.
sheet.
Oh, okay.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's sweet. See, nice and good person.
Mhm.
Vault 32 Ninja Club, all the way on the right.
I'm signing up for that.
Right.
We
Right.
meet
Ninja
anytime,
Club.
any place. Try and find us. So it's
That's pretty funny.
and also it's a silhouette of the Vault Boy in obviously a ninja costume, so you
Yes.
can't really make out its
It
features.
looks very much
Clever.
like a Ninja Turtle, though.
It does, doesn't
I
it?
bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Or like Solid Snake from Metal Gear.
Look at the two toes.
With the because it has the little
Yeah.
Little ninja
toad
shoes.
sock thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. This is one of those like PSA things. It says Vaulters always ask, and then it's a whole bunch of things. What can I do to build a better America? A remnant of our first
Mm.
episode
Mhm.
Easter egg hunt, because there was a bunch of these things. Have purpose, have patience. Oh, I can't read that.
Oh, the little text. I don't know if you can
Oh.
do that.
Oh, I can't read those tiny, tiny words.
Right.
I'm getting old, folks. I'm getting old. This is exactly what we read last year, by the way, in the first episode. And
Mhm.
hey, if you want to know what this is, see, this is now I can condense. Check out our first episode breakdown of the first season, because this is all in that. So we'll say the big words: get involved. Cleanliness is godliness. Hard work is happy work. Stay fit, stay focused. These are all separate posters that you find in the vault as you go through episode 1. We're all in this together also. Cool. We get it all on one poster. And last but not least, this is obviously a movie
Mhm.
starring Carl Dixon and Cynthia Marsh.
Oh,
Cynthia is spelled Synthia.
that's interesting.
There you go.
Oh.
There will be popcorn.
Synth.
A synth, yeah.
She's
And
a synth.
also,
That's how you spell synth.
this looks a lot like that voice box you said that one girl had in Philly.
Hmm.
Well, that's a holotape. You can
Okay, that
collect
too.
those and they'll
Oh.
do storytelling or they'll advance different quest lines. You can play video games on them, on your Pip-Boy. They provide a lot of different functions and they're essentially like a floppy disk. They have data on them. That's probably where the movie is. It's on the holotape.
Cynthia Marsh.
Yeah, I totally missed that. That's so small.
Yeah, me too.
I'm guessing she was a synth. I've never seen Cynthia spelled Synthia.
I'm willing to bet it's just a Easter egg detail for people who caught it, like Dave. I totally missed it. I
Like
think
Dave.
it's just a callback to people who know what synths are because they have not yet introduced one, at least not formally. Well, chances are, if they have introduced one, nobody knows they're a synth because that's the point. They look just like people.
Mm.
At least the newest models do.
And if this is all happening in the vaults, the vault dwellers wouldn't know any better.
Nope.
They're all hapless dweebs.
I think it's more likely that it's just a in-universe Easter egg, not something that we should read into.
Oh,
The
yeah,
actress was a
absolutely.
synth. I don't think that's the case.
The writers are like, you asked for synths? Here you go. There's
Yeah,
your
There you
synth.
go.
Cynthia
Stop asking for them.
Let's talk about the ghoul. It's kind of important.
School time. Okay.
Cool time.
It's school time.
It's school in time. It's like Power Rangers.
Oh, I went to a
Except
home
just
improvement
curious.
place.
Fair.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I see. You and
Cool
Jason are
time.
on the same.
tool time.
Anyway.
So Rachel,
No,
we
it'd be
got
more like a growl of a
Yeah,
Feral
yeah,
ghoul.
like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
we got the scene that you wanted of him dragging himself off the pipe, even though it
Mhm.
didn't really pan out for him. He
So
Yeah,
close,
It didn't
yeah.
end how I thought it was going to, but we did see it.
Yeah,
How could you even pull yourself off of that without
that
any
was
kind
my
of
thought. I'm like, what's he
exterior
gonna
support
do?
above it?
Yeah,
When you get to the top, then
yeah,
you're
there's
done.
nothing left to do. There's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the
probably
same thing. I'm
would've
like, how's this
pushed
gonna
down
work?
And
Yeah,
then
but at
push-
some point you
push
don't have any
through yourself.
leverage
slide my
left.
hand through. Well, he doesn't have
This
much
is
to begin
cartoon
with.
logic. This
We got to
is
suspend
not gonna work
the
in
disbelief here.
After a certain point, he had to try something, I guess. So
Yeah,
might as well.
true.
But
Yeah, you could also argue with failure that, oh, yeah, as he gets to the top, he could maybe push it over. But no.
I was thinking
well,
he would
no, it
grab
was-
onto something above him, or if that was the case, a dangling rope or something, but I didn't think
Well-
there was one.
It brought me back to season 9 Walking Dead with Rick when he fell on the rebar. He had
Oh
to
my
throw
God.
his
Yeah.
belt over other rebar to pull himself off of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I had to get leverage.
Yeah.
After he fell back down, I thought, well, there's already a hole straight through the middle, so why not just rip it out the side?
Right? I thought the same
I
thing.
mean, pain is probably a factor.
Did you know?
Like,
Well, it's either that
He'll
or
be fine.
stay there and die.
Go feral.
Or go
oh, he's
feral,
going
yeah.
feral, yeah.
That was very, very interesting.
Yeah. So I might point out that
That
the
was
noises he was
heartbreaking.
making are lifted directly from the game files. So that is exactly what
Mhm.
feral ghouls
Oh.
sound like in the game.
I was so happy they
Cool.
did that too.
I know
I'm very
it's so
happy.
recognizable. Like,
I'm happy for Walton Goggins that they did that and that he didn't have to make those noises.
right? Oh my gosh! Like, just look like you're in pain, and then
Yeah.
like we'll fix it.
my name is
Now I want to
Roger.
know what noises he was making on set.
Yeah,
Just grunting, grunting,
Grunting.
growling.
Scrunting.
grunting.
Could you demonstrate
I mean,
a
that
scrunt
sounds
for
accurate.
me? What is a scrunt?
I don't
It's like a scream.
It's a scream
Grunt?
grunt, yeah.
Oh,
Don't be
okay.
embarrassed.
David's trying to cook up what that would sound like so that he can demonstrate it for us.
No, I'm still caught on. I want to hear what he sounds like because that's how I heard it in my head. I just want to hear what Walton sounds
Well,
like.
I mean, you know that
Because
was like an
it's
Barbara
extremely
knows.
awkward scene to
Yeah.
film.
Oh,
And
sure.
when
I
you're
didn't
like
think about that.
making these like ghoulish noises, it's more awkward.
And he's definitely suspended
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
To quote Harrison Ford, that's what the money's for.
That's
Exactly.
what the
Yeah,
money's
that's
for.
what money's for. Yeah.
Yes.
Get
I
over
want to
all
see him
embarrassment 'cause
making
you
the
think about how
money.
much you're getting paid.
Yeah.
I've seen Walton Goggins in interviews though. He's
He's-
the real deal.
I was going to say, I don't think
Yeah.
he embarrasses easily.
Oh no,
He's a
definitely not.
goofball.
No.
The kind of characters that he plays, absolutely not.
Have you seen Righteous Gemstones?
I've seen the
Enough
clips
of
of
it.
Righteous
I've
I've
Gemstones.
seen enough
Yeah.
of it.
It's such a
The
funny
clips
show.
Karina sent me today were hilarious.
Yeah. From I think it's Vice Principals is the name of it. It's so funny.
Mm.
If you've
Oh,
seen him
yeah,
in
yeah.
Sons
Oh.
of Anarchy, you know that he does not embarrass easily. I'm pretty
Plays
sure
a
Walton
dirty cop.
Goggins actually
Good
played
reason.
2 characters on Sons of Anarchy, I think.
It's like Garrett Dillahunt
Mhm.
on
Deadwood.
Thank
There
you.
it is. It came back.
That's pretty cool. It's like pulling the wool over people's eyes. It's the other side of, hey, we just replaced the actor for this character and expecting you not to notice. It's the opposite. It's like, we're putting this guy again in a different role. That happens in the procedurals all the time, though, doesn't
To be
it?
fair,
Yeah.
he didn't come back as a guy.
Mm-mm.
Right. I've seen clips of that.
Yeah.
Nero sent me. Salutations, gentlemen. Venus Van Dam at your pleasure.
Venus, thanks for coming.
Not yet, baby. You gotta eat dinner before you get dessert.
Did we anticipate him getting saved by a super mutant?
I did not anticipate that.
I didn't think that at all. No.
Like, I didn't think that was
No.
actually going to be what got him out of that situation.
So we've actually officially seen a super mutant and an intelligent one, as
Before
I mentioned
Thaddeus.
before. Yeah,
Yes.
as I mentioned before,
Mhm.
super mutants can be intelligent, and this one is very intelligent. And I would like to point out, it's Ron Perlman.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
It's Ron
Why is
Perlman.
that
I didn't
important?
catch
Tell
that.
everybody who doesn't know.
That's important because Ron Perlman does the opening War Never Changes monologue for
Mhm.
Fallout 1, 2, and 3. So it's one of the most
Oh.
iconic things, and that's the only thing he did for the games. But now he's a super mutant in the series, and that's very
That's
exciting.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Do you want to tell everybody how much he got paid for that gig?
Sandwiches.
$40 and a sandwich.
For all
$40
three
and a
games?
sandwich.
Or
I
this.
think it was for all three. They just reused it.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think the dialogue changed between games.
Oh, okay.
nope. It's just so
You
silly.
use that sound bit again. I need another sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when the first game came out, what, in 93 or something, or 97? I think it was 97.
97.
Mhm.
Yep.
Nobody knew what it
Wow.
was going to become.
I don't know how well known he would have been at the time either.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
he
know.
was pretty well
97?
known by then.
Oh,
too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
just
forget.
don't know.
Yeah,
He
his
just came
career.
off the heels of
When did
Blade 2.
Hellboy?
Blade two.
Hellboy came out in the late
Hellboy
90s.
came out
A little
in the
later.
2000s.
Was it? Oh,
Okay.
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 I thought it was
Yeah.
Early
late 90s.
2000s. Yeah, right around that time.
Okay.
Over the hump, though.
Okay.
If I
Yeah, 'cause
remember
Hellboy
right, yeah.
was what introduced me to Ron Perlman.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
He's had a storied career, people. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Watch. Oh my gosh.
Ron Perlman, Super
No,
Mutants?
stop.
Where are we?
Shut up. Shut up. Karina, how excited were you watching that scene?
So
Wait,
extremely excited.
No. Hold on. What happened here just right now, Rachel? What was that?
I couldn't
What was that?
get my thoughts together. I was gonna say while I was watching that scene and he's like dragging him through the things and they're focusing on certain things. I don't know what they mean, but I'm watching
See,
it
that's
and
a
I'm
better
like,
introduction to Karina.
Karina knows what that is, and I'm gonna ask her about it.
I mean, I certainly was going
Well-
to mention that whether you brought it up or not, but
Can I invoke your name?
who's?
I had you in my head when the introduction of the ghoul going to the super mutant lair, when you said,
Yeah.
and a hallmark of all super mutants is the bag of parts that are in front of
Yes. The
Oh.
chain
the dripping
bag
too,
of
Dripping,
by the
yeah.
way.
Oh, they're disgusting. Yeah, they're littered. If you start to see those and spikes sticking out of the ground, you're in super mutant territory. There's goodies in those bags, though, so you can search them for stuff. So,
Mm.
yeah, gross, but
14th
yeah,
day for
you can
the
find some
brave.
stuff.
So I assume that pure uranium would heal the ghoul just as much as what he was using to heal himself in the first episode.
Your little
or faster
Chekhov's
or better.
uranium.
Yeah.
Mhm. The super mutant, unnamed so far. I'm sure he has a name. We just don't know what it is.
Nothing in the X-ray.
Yeah, I was pausing to look. I'm like, what is his name? He mentions that radiation bad for the rest of them, but very good for us because super mutants are immune to
Because
radiation.
we're kin.
Yeah, and ghouls are healed by radiation and are created by radiation. So his proposal for an alliance makes perfect sense because they are ostracized by the rest of humanity, and they both were once human. So these are not constructs or anything like that. Super mutants come about because of the forced evolutionary virus, and ghouls come about because of irradiation, and they're both humans. They feel very slighted, rightfully so. To be fair, a lot of super mutants just eat people, so I can understand why people ostracize them.
Super
I mean, they
strong
basically
too.
look like giant ogres.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looked like a
Big and
big
green
World
and
of
scary.
Warcraft ogre.
Was he big
They're
and scary like
huge.
that because of Ron Perlman's not a small guy?
Super
He's also CG, Rachel.
Fair.
Yeah, super mutants are bigger than people.
Clearly.
They're quite large creatures. One of them in Fallout 4 mentions that he needs your character's help because his hands are too large to do
To
the
do the
fine
things,
manipulation that he
right.
needs to do to like reprogram something. He's like, I can't do it anymore, so I need
You
you to
told
do
us
it for
about
me.
this.
Yeah,
That's
so
so it's
sad.
like, aw.
What was it called? It was in Dayglow. What was the town called?
The Glowing Sea. It's not a town. It's a
Yeah, I
crater.
have like the glowworm in my head.
It's a glowing sea because that's
Things
where
I
the bomb
remember.
dropped.
I thought it was strange that the super mutant would even be in the city.
So they're in Freeside. It was a little odd. It makes sense that he came out at night to
Okay.
avoid other people. But keep in mind, they're in Freeside, so they're not in Vegas proper. They're like on the outskirts with a little bit less protection, considering the Kings apparently are no
Oh.
longer around. Also, it's very telling how many people were walking by the ghoul and didn't acknowledge him or try to help him or anything. Like they literally just
Nope.
acted like he didn't exist.
They didn't even try to
which is
rob him.
really-
They
Good
just kept-
look.
No,
Yep.
yeah, they just didn't bother with him at all. And I'm like, dang, I'm surprised nobody stole his drugs or anything.
That's what I was saying. I was like, someone's going to just come and swipe that while he's doing this.
Yeah, I expected
Yeah.
that too.
Not even. Okay, so we saw the ghoul starting to go feral. Did the uranium stop the feralness? I think those things are mutually exclusive. Am I wrong? We
No.
should still be worried.
So, yeah, he still needs his suppression drugs in order to not go feral. From what I understand, looking into it a little bit more, ghouls go feral when their mind starts to atrophy, especially as they age. So Cooper's been around for 200 years. Clearly, he needs his suppression
Probably
drugs.
the longest ghoul.
Yeah, I think the suppression drugs also, I'm just guessing at this point. I just want to preface this. They probably, because they're suppressing the ghoul part of him, they're probably suppressing his healing ability and things like that too. So as he heals with this radiation, I wonder if that will not speed up the process for which he goes feral.
That's
Does that make sense? Like,
what I'm
because
thinking.
he doesn't,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he doesn't have the drugs. Then again, he may be able to get them now that Thaddeus and Maximus are there. Also, I couldn't tell in the scene, did Dogmeat bring him his bag? Because he was just sitting there kind of
His hat.
chilling at the end.
I couldn't
He
tell
brought him
either.
his hat
I was trying to look on the
back, but
ground, couldn't see.
how did Dogmeat know where he was if he didn't find him first? And did he bring him stuff? Because I was telling Rachel,
Oh.
He's dog meat.
Dogmeat will go find stuff for
Well-
you in the game and bring it to you. And sometimes it's useful, and sometimes it's like a severed hand or whatever.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
Maximus and Thaddeus.
Yeah,
So
sometimes it's Maximus and Thaddeus, unless the super mutant grabbed it for him.
I would think so.
I think he did because I noticed as he was dragging and we sort of get the ghoul's point of view for a minute, it looked to me like his saddlebags were on him as he was being dragged.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which makes sense
Nice.
because the super mutant seems to want an alliance, and you can't do that with a feral ghoul. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
They don't really have the ability to ally
they don't have
with
what you
you.
call thinking. Like,
More like growl, growl, scratch, scratch, attack, attack.
Well, now I'm sad for him.
Yeah, but also
He's like, please, ghoul, be my friend. Let's fight the baddies together and
ghoul's
be
like, no, thank you.
friends. I know.
well, and there's also something we should really touch on, and that is what he says. Obviously, there's a war coming. We need you healthy. Lots of they, our kind. I think you and me got bit by a different mother effing bug, my friend. He's spinning a yarn about, is this perception? Oh, he does mention the Enclave. That's very important in his whole spiel. Because the Enclave isn't known for making their presence known. And of course, Karina, you pointed out rightly that they had a mutant in their custody. And so if they were
Very
still
first
running
episode.
experiments, that's probably where Ron Perlman came from. It would be funny as F if they credit the character's name is Ron Perlman. I would just say.
Ron the ghoul.
Super
or
mutant
Ron
Ron
the
Perlman.
super mutant. Super mutant
Yeah,
Ron.
I got more than I bargained for. I got more than $40 in a sandwich for this role. They turned me into a super mutant
Super mutant.
for my troubles for this game.
Yeah.
This is speculation land, but still.
a while back, we were discussing Thaddeus possibly being
Mhm.
a super mutant, but he's not green.
No,
Not yet.
I don't know
Not
how
yet.
quickly the FEV is supposed to work. And it's certainly making it
Because you
look like
mentioned
he's turning
the FEV
into
was a
ghoul.
dunk tank.
No, okay, so that's a way to do it. They make centaurs by throwing a bunch of random creatures into a tank full of FEV, or you can inject it and you get a super mutant that way.
But this was inhaled.
I'm curious if he is ghoulifying, if he just inhaled radiation and it immediately started healing him. That seems weird to me, but not
Well,
impossible.
What if it's to say that the chems that the ghoul has to take to not go feral is kind of similar to what he took to heal?
Possibly, because his is an inhalant as well. I'm not entirely convinced that he is a ghoul, and I'm not entirely convinced that he's a super mutant either. He didn't seem to have grown in size at all, and super mutants don't really seem to start to look skeletal in their face, so that they will have really defined cheekbones, but they get big and muscular and caveman, like strong and angry more than anything.
I'd be angry too if I couldn't fit my clothes anymore.
Yeah, well.
So, it's a problem. And we've been talking a big game about the Enclave, and of course they're the other player, but now this guy is the other player also.
We've got a new
A
group
war that
to
we have
think
no
about.
idea about.
Yeah. Mobilizing super mutants wouldn't be terribly difficult, even if they're not the smart version, because they're group dynamics anyway, because they were human at one point. So they are always in groups, and they're pretty good about tactically surrounding you. They'll send the suiciders out to get you with a mini nuke in their arm.
The sound.
Yeah. So, yeah, they have pretty good tactics. Yeah, and that continuing, like, beep, 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 that just gets closer and closer. And it's like, where are they coming from? They'll have some that will hang back and shoot missiles and stuff at you. They'll have the hounds come and get you. So they're very organized, even if they're not the intelligent ones. They're still pretty intelligent. Whereas ghouls, if they've gone feral, they're just wild creatures. They're not going to organize in any fashion. They'll mob you, but there's no tactics involved. So he would need not feral ghouls to mobilize with him for this army. I'm sure he could make use of feral ghouls, but they're going to be one of those things that you release and then they could be attacking you or they could be attacking your enemy. It's like, who knows what they're going to do.
Right. Oh boy. Well, and then what is it for? And are we going after the Enclave? I assume yes. There is one thing we should go to though, and it'll hopefully take us back to Lucy and Hank, because we have to still kind of get that out of the way and finally end the show, because Rachel's like, I want to sleep. So I'll got another screen share for you, because this is the end credit scene, and this is going to get you to talk about more Easter eggs, Karina. This was the last shot in the end credit scene.
I was like, wait, what did I miss?
And I didn't screen cap the other stuff because I thought that would be more of a, you could get the visuals and that's fine. I might include them in the finished product, but this is something that warrants a little bit more conversation, because this is right after panning the hallway full of all the different...
So much R&D, right?
Yeah, all the
of it's
R&D.
R&D.
This in particular made me laugh.
Yeah,
This made me laugh because this is human resources R&D. So the R&D is on human resources.
Right.
Yes. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. So this sign right here, Human Resources R&D, you see at the top it says VT 107, so Vault Tech 107. Vault 107 is the default vault that you manage in the Fallout Shelter mobile game. It's referencing an actual vault. The other signs also reference actual vaults and the particular experiments that were going on within them. VT22, which is Vault 22 agricultural research, alludes to in Vault 22, they were experimenting on this spore type of thing that turned people into plant creatures.
The vegetable monsters.
The vegetable monsters, yeah. VT12, so Vault 12, door engineering, R&D. Vault 12 in Bakersfield, the door did not seal completely and ended up turning everyone in the vault into a ghoul because the radiation got in. I think those are the only three specific vaults that I saw. But yeah, some of the other ones like the FEV and the toilet one is pretty funny.
There's the water chip R&D.
Yes, that's why I rewound it and watched it so many times.
Well, leading up to this, the first thing you see is a poster of basically the Vault-Tec HR R&D, which is Vault-Tec HR, improving morale for over 100 years, next to the Human Resources R&D sign, which I loved. And then there's a thing in the back, it's actually right after the metal detector. What is that thing in the background? I'm going to point it out here. This was very interesting to me because it kind of looks like power armor.
It's a sentry bot. Those are like heavy duty guard robots.
Okay. All right.
You do
I thought
not
it was
want
like some
to
sort of
fight
power
them.
armor
Cool.
or something.
I mean, it's sort of reminiscent of that, but it is just a tank of a autonomous robot that will shoot you to pieces in a heartbeat.
Well, and look at this. See
They have a scary
Vault
voice
Boy,
also. Yeah, it's a bobblehead.
but it looks like a girl.
It may be, but they do all kinds of different things. If you collect them in the game, they'll give you different boosts to different perks and things like that. So they're all doing something unique.
I believe there is also a Vault Girl
Okay.
along that. But
Yeah, especially in Fallout Shelter, everybody is designed to look like the Vault Boy character. So there's all kinds of women, and that's how I made the themed cartoon. I just used the Fallout Shelter templates for the characters and applied different things to make them look like us. So I used that as a reference.
This is a good opportunity for you to go through all the different things we saw in the end credits, because I thought that you would think that they're interesting. It starts off in Bud Askin's office.
I didn't realize that at first until I
So
went
many
back.
interesting things in Bud's office.
The first thing you see is so you're thinking about having your brain removed, a guide to transcending
Yeah.
mortality. Live on, explore, learn.
Which
A
obviously he
Vault-Tec
did.
innovation.
Yeah, he definitely went with that
Yeah.
choice. I didn't take a picture of it or write down any of the things, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the stuff on his shelves are things that you can find in the wasteland to decorate your house or to use
Yep.
as crafting
The
materials.
lunchbox.
So, like, yeah, the lunchbox. I think there's a rocket ship
Oh, okay.
and one of the toy blasters, like the alien blaster or something like that. So there's a lot of in-game references in his office, like so many.
And earlier you brought up the comic book.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna
Grognak,
get
he's
to.
the
got
barbarian.
quite a few Grognaks on his desk.
What was interesting about that was it was in a folder titled Q3 Strategy, which is like, okay, we planned this. We planned to leave these boosters in the wasteland,
Yeah.
which is the Grognak comic book, one of which was titled Enter Mala, the Maiden of Mars. There was also a Grognak action figure as well.
Yes.
They give you stat boosts and stuff like that.
Grognak will increase your strength, typically. Tumblers today will increase your lockpicking skills. Dean's Electronics, I'm pretty sure, does your science skill.
These are your special stats.
Your Wasteland Survival Guide.
So I'll just say the rest of the Easter eggs as far as I wrote them down. As we zoom out, big Cooper Howard fan. At least 3 posters of 3 Cooper Howard movies.
I saw
Oh,
at
There's a
least
big
one.
poster of
right, yeah.
a man and his dog. There was one that was just called Gun. There was another one off to the side. There was the Vault Boy. I wrote Pit Boy in my notes. Stop shaming me. 2 robot toys. Alarm clock. There was a big nuke in the background, which is
the
obviously
mini
for
nuke.
show? Question mark.
In game, I would say that it's a real one.
Oh, well, then maybe it was. And then he also has that mechanical toy horse that you referenced in the season prior. That was in that
Yeah.
article. They recalled.
Giddy up, Buttercup.
Ooh, look at you. It's off the dome. I'm sure there's other stuff too. Obviously, he has a fan in his office to craft something as well. Okay, we didn't really touch on the Barb and Cooper scenes as
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Barb gets her own thing where it says Barb.
Yeah, her own
Yeah.
little title card.
Yeah.
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 Just like the NCR.
And no one
Yeah.
else
Mhm.
did.
The
Like,
Google.
what
Legion.
would, like,
they've done it, especially last season. They did it for the Ghoul and Lucy and
Oh.
Yeah.
And Max.
Stuff
that's
like
yeah.
that. So
They just
it's
kinda brought
more
it
or less-
back.
yeah.
oh gosh, it's just been that
These
long
are all the
since we've seen-
players.
Yeah.
So this is the moment where Barb became a major player in the story, I think. Even though she's always
Yes.
kind of been there. but-
Right.
One thing to note is during that marketing meeting, the opening scene, obviously it opens and closes in a similar fashion. It's like a zoomed in version of her eye. The first one was the mushroom cloud. The last one was her family. These are the 2 sides tugging at Barb Howard.
Mhm.
The big thing to note is that that marketing meeting was prior to the whole nuke dropping thing at the big corporate meeting,
Mhm.
because you know more than this scene shows.
Mhm.
So you're thinking, oh my God, this is their spread strategy of all the nukes. And oh my, that's horrible. And they're just being so casual about it. But literally they are being casual about, see, it's trying to trick you. You thought it was bad that they were talking about their strategy on how to nuke LA. No, but it's still bad
Mhm.
because they're casually talking about, well, when it happens, because obviously this is our bread and butter. We make vaults. It's going to have to happen if we want to succeed. So we're going to scare them with 5 different 5 megaton nuclear explosions in the poster, not in real life, because we're not that bad. Nom, 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 hamburgers.
Yeah.
Then you see Wilzig in the elevator, which was a cool reveal.
Yeah. I found it interesting that nobody else seems affected in any way by what they're discussing except for Barb. She's the only one who's having any kind of emotional reaction to this. Everyone else is taking it as just another day at the office, just another ad revenue meeting. It's really nothing.
A little bit later, her assistant in the back looked like she was concerned too. Who I didn't know
You
was
mean
Betty.
Betty Pearson?
Did we already know that, or
Yeah.
Wait,
We
I
found out at
didn't-
the end of last season.
okay?
Mhm.
Oh.
See,
I totally
young
forgot
Betty
about that
Pearson.
and just saw
Which
that in the
is
video.
ironic.
But yeah,
right? Because her vault currently is dealing with a faulty water chip, and she's just casually in the background as an assistant, experiencing that in
I
the
wonder
future.
if she is piecing that together and just not saying anything.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's kind of like the ghoul having seen the cold fusion being taken out of Hank's neck. See, now you want to kind of go back when Lucy pulled it out of Wilzig's neck. Did the ghoul have a reaction? What she must have been rattling around, or it's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was his facial reaction? Because this is a mirror, it's a parallel. Lucy's taken out of Wilzig's neck in the future. Barb was taking it out of Hank's neck in the past. Okay, what I really want to talk about, obviously, is the fight between those two, because it's juicy. One cool thing is that the poster that says a vault of the future, because Barb is looking at the poster at the end of it, and she's like getting scared, and then she looks at the photo of her family. It's in the actual vault. So Reg's vault, where he's about to do his snack montage, it's actually in the montage. The vault tech, a vault for the futures, and it shows like the vault's under construction, or like the cutaway of the vault and all the different rooms and stuff like that. Barb is seeing it in the past as well. I thought that was a cool link from the future of the past.
I thought the opening transition was super impressive, from the teardrop into the antenna of the little box, and then the whole Fallout turns forward. Oh, it was such
Yeah,
a
that was really cool.
cool. Yes,
I
such
see.
a cool transition moment.
And what do they call the device too? Robco's latest. They're all about making robots to serve man, but what about making men that turn into robots? It was the automated man,
Oh, okay.
is what the device is actually called.
Hank got special permission to sit in on that meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Noteworthy, huh?
Uh-huh.
I got some permission because I really want to be near Rob House, my other crush. No, Cooper Howard. By the way, I love how you're, oh, Cooper, can I wash your butt? Can I click your butt? I don't know. Like about
Not
Hank.
me, about Hank. Yes, just to be clear.
No, I know, but you love, well, maybe. I don't know. No judgment. I get it. Then Welzig in the elevator. That made me wonder whether something I mentioned in post last episode was how, taking the theory further, where did cold fusion end up ultimately in the future? Where was it rescued from?
Wilzig's head.
From,
The Enclave.
The Enclave.
right. So how did it end up in the Enclave? This is something I put in post in our last episode. And now we sort of see where this is going this episode. Because if they just fished out the cold fusion in this episode, where is it going to end up ultimately going?
The Enclaves.
Yeah.
How now? And if they're seeing the Enclave as this, their only hope, and then the Enclave ultimately ends up pushing the button, it makes, frustratingly, Robert House right about Cooper being the other player.
Mhm.
Because it was pushed early because Coop decided to get Hank drunk and fish it out of Vaultek's hands. So I was sort of right about something.
I mean, he didn't force Barb to do anything. She could have just put the weird needle gun back and been like, you didn't see anything.
No, but had he not been there, because he wasn't supposed to be there,
Right.
None of that would have
that
happened.
whole thing never would have happened. Robert House would have had his protection plan for Vegas. Karina, another question. Do you think this cold fusion feels like this would have been the replacement for the platinum chip?
I was just thinking that because in New Vegas, House has been looking for the platinum chip since before the Great War. And the same thing seems to be the case here with this cold fusion. He's been trying to get his hands on cold fusion since before the Great War so that he can protect New Vegas from all the bombs. He can build his defense network. And that's exactly what the platinum chip was going to be used for in the game as well.
You are not coming in quite right for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, what just happened?
I don't know. Oh, my.
It's like the last
frozen.
gasps.
She's frozen now.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
and there you go. There you go. Tear.
Tear into the control device.
In terms of if Cooper never showed up, this whole thing never would have happened. It's kind of like
Well, I
how
wouldn't say that.
not all
In
of
the
it, but
time,
certain
it
things would have been set in motion. But it's kind of like how if Merle never had chlamydia, a lot of the story of The Walking Dead never would have
It's
happened.
true.
Having had his venereal
Yeah.
disease, if he never had that, would have never had the drugs that saved T-Dog, who never would have been around to save Carol at the prison,
Yep.
who never would have been around to save them at Terminus,
Mhm.
who then they never would have ended up at Alexandria, and all of them would have ended up under the boot of Negan or killed by the wolves.
Yep.
The whole story doesn't happen without Merle's chlamydia.
Yes, exactly.
Or at least a good chunk of it.
I never heard that.
And obviously the blue meth connection to another AMC
I'm Breaking
property.
Bad, yes. if Walter White never died, they would have never tried to replicate his recipe and cause the outbreak.
Yeah, it was the 100% meth is what causes the zombie outbreak.
I haven't seen Sharondy since Daryl.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you were gone,
I was
she
gone.
was
She
on.
was here. I thought she'd be here tonight.
She was having internet issues again, wasn't she?
Well, no, she was preparing for the ice storm. She ended up going over to her aunt's house because she was going down to Florida. So she was going to see her before she leaves.
Okay.
How's Karina doing? I feel
It's
bad
not
for her.
letting her on. She's closed out and reopened it like 3 times. She said, "Leave me behind. Tell them I love them. Remember me."
Remember me.
Everybody wave to Karina.
I can kiss and wave at the same time.
She sent a little gif of a dead bunny and the ghost is floating out of its body.
All right. We ended off the last episode with Barb and Cooper argue. We catch Cooper saying, we have to talk, blah, blah, blah. Were you always the monster? So the first thing he says was, I love how they like kind of, here's this other thing before we get to the thing I was about to get to. And what he says was, I was thinking about when I proposed to you. Now, when you usually tell your proposal story, all the things that went wrong end up being funny and amusing. But here in this instance, he's thinking of all them in a different way now. Because now everything that he once thought with Barb in that moment, he saw one way. But because of this revelation, he sees Barb a totally different way. I don't know who this person is anymore. So now the knee in the seagull crap is annoying to him
A
or
metaphor.
gross. Right. Did I just step in it? I found that very interesting. Was it always like this, or is it what I chose to see? So were you always a monster is the question. Now, how rich is that, considering?
I see he becomes a monster.
A ghoul.
Physically.
He literally becomes the dictionary definition of a ghoul. To do what? To do the very thing, like these echoes, right? Barb basically tells him, what would you do for Janie? And he's proving it. They're made for each other. I was once like you, Lucy. All these innocent mothers just like you. So this is the point of contention. This is where you have to choose between Negan and Rick on The Walking Dead. This is hard. Because I know, Rachel, you're going to say right away, you're more of a Barb than you
This
are.
is like choosing between Rick and Shane, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a closer comparison.
Fair. Or both sides of Rick, which is what Shane ends up representing in Rick later on in series, down to the clothing, too.
Yeah, he wears the same brown shirt.
So you have the image and I had it. There you go. So, Rachel, am I right in thinking you're kind of more on the Barb Howard side of the train? What wouldn't you do for your kid? I'd kill billions of kids for my kid.
I think at this moment in time, they both have wildly different amounts of information about what's going on. I would almost have to compare Barb to the ghoul, not Cooper Howard.
Welcome here. In that moment, are you not trying to put yourself in Cooper's shoes? Because he's the guy we're walking through this universe through, at least in this time period.
I think we're supposed to be, but that's particularly hard for me because I am a mother. And of course, I'm going to be thinking of my child.
Okay. Back to my original question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a viewer, I should be seeing this from Cooper's point of view. But as a mom,
I'd burn the world for my kid.
Yeah.
And all the other kids and moms for my kid.
See, now we can go back to the good versus nice conversation.
Oh, okay.
What kind of person does it make me to burn the world down for my child?
What did I say about how things used to be? And I forget which show we were talking about now. I said something to the equivalent of, okay, yeah, how things used to be, you had to kill people to protect your family. And if you didn't, you were a bad person. If you didn't kill the people that tried to kill your family, and that's probably still true, but we're in a high trust society. We were simply decades away from people who would regularly leave their front door unlocked. High trust society. We were probably more armed, but high trust society. So you wouldn't think you had to. Yeah. And if you didn't, you were a bad person. You were a bad person for not protecting your family adequately.
Bad or
you
weak?
weren't a good father. But it's also bad because think about the, like I say, concentric circles of who is in your sphere of importance. It starts with yourself, ? But then also then wife and kids, cousins, friends,
parents,
people
Throw
you
your
kind of
parents in
know.
there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right after my kids.
Yeah, sure. But that exists, right? That's a thing. But if you didn't, relative to your sphere of influence, because you were at the center of your own universe, I love that you did that, though. Nice versus good. Because you want to side with Cooper. The more you see Barb suffering, that's really what it is. And then isn't it just like what we saw in the first episode? Father escaping with his daughter from the mushroom clouds. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we're meant to take away from what we saw Barb suffering through those meetings, those marketing meetings? How much more of that can you take? Not knowing that she was going to say in just a day or two that she was going to propose, that Vault-Tec proposed, they pushed the button. She didn't know that, but she was already feeling it. And now by the time Coop says you're a bad person, you're a monster, it's like, well, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to go about this? Because she was already scared by Wilzig, the other player. Mm-hmm. Further, it was no longer just a theory. Wilzig scared the devil in her enough to say, if you're not going to do it, we'll do it, basically. And so now you have to do it. Now you have to get your kids safe or your husband safe. She was already looking at the photo before she even met Wilzig. I felt a lot for Barb in that moment. By the time Cooper was done with her.
It's very conflicting because she knows that these bombs are going to drop regardless. So she's trying to set them up in a way that's obviously going to protect them. So yes, she is doing it for her kid and her husband, but not cluing her husband into it to start with and keeping it a secret is what's making Cooper go, you're a monster because you're doing this behind my back. I don't know what your true motive is, if it is that.
This is a shock to him.
Yeah, it's incredibly a shock, especially since he's been through war. He knows what fighting and that kind of thing is like, so he doesn't want that to be the reality for anybody, let alone his kid and wife. So why would she be the one suggesting we drop the bombs?
Yeah.
There's one more parallel, by the way. I'm glad you brought that up because the word he used to get her to understand how much he knows is he says the words "war never changes."
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because also brought Perlman and he was in the episode. That's cool. There's another parallel from Hank. He's explaining All Quiet on the Western Front. He said the most upsetting thing was everybody was fighting over nothing. All sides, whoever the uniform was. Isn't it the same in the Wasteland? Aren't all these people just traumatized by their experience and however much they've acclimatized to their world? Still, there's a degree of trauma that can be seen as this is tolerable, this is not tolerable. And it's definitely not the degree to which we were suffering prior to the Great War. And then he says what Barb effectively says, which is, but you know, some things never change. Like war. War never changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just thought that was very interesting. It's a very good mirror that we're always invariably going to find ourselves on having to travel the pollen path. Remember Dark Winds? How to release yourself from a traumatic experience is to get on the pollen path, to get yourself out of it. And isn't Hank doing that? Isn't Hank the ultimate humanitarian? He's the hero.
Oh, yeah.
I contend.
You think he's...
Fight me.
That's quite a stance.
You're brainwashed. Sorry, buddy. Let's get you some help.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these messages.
We just thought we'd remind you to show this episode some love by tapping that like button, if there's one to be tapped, subscribing to our podcast or channel, and if available, enabling all notifications, and sharing the show, or clips of it, with everyone you know. And don't be afraid to reach out. Leave your questions, feedback, ideas, or even concerns in the comments section. There isn't one? Head on over to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead and leave your thoughts there. Rating our podcast is the best way to get our attention because it also boosts our visibility. And we'll probably address it in the next episode too. And if you think there's something to what we're doing here at Squawking Dead, tip us over on Ko-fi. As a token of our appreciation, you'll receive forever access to our Discord, along with 30 days access to our uncut episode and interview recordings, plus our pre-squawk insights. Take your support further. Join a membership tier on either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead, and you'll unlock access to more channels on our Discord server, receive shoutouts at the end of every episode, and depending on what tier you join, the ability to join us on camera and mic to break down future episodes alongside us. Thank you for hearing us out and making it this far into the episode.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled podcast.
No, actually, wait. It doesn't leave off on a bad note. There seems to be a cooperation in that moment where Barb takes out the cold fusion.
Which just further confuses me because we started this series knowing that they are divorced and have been for at least a little bit of time, enough for rumors to spur, for his career to take a dump. Now he's doing these birthday party things. At least a significant amount of time has passed since the divorce.
So I have said the equivalent of it could be that they get divorced for optics to make Cooper Howard look terrible. They could split because of those reasons.
Okay, but it's still coming. We see all these flashbacks, and I thought, we need to talk. I thought for sure this was going to be the split scene. And it hasn't happened yet. And I'm like, it has to be coming soon because.
Well, there's an argument to say that they planned this, meaning it's not because they're on the outs.
Sure.
It's because.
Honestly, I don't even care what the reasons are for the divorce. Sure. If it's for optics and they're not actually.
They still love each other.
Sure. I'm fine with all of that. But the point is, when the bombs drop, they're not together
yeah.
and haven't been for a considerable period of time.
Rachel,
What?
why are they not together? Who drops the bombs? It goes to your question from the last episode. Why were all those management vaults empty? Even though Bud Askin says we get 30 minutes notice.
They weren't notified.
They weren't ready. Right.
Yeah.
Why? Who dropped the bombs?
Not Vaultec.
Well, we know one management vault got in.
Right.
So they had enough time.
Yeah. Right. And you know what? There's an argument to be made because of Barb's participation in Wilzig's not offer that she couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
They gave her notice.
I have a hard time believing, because we know Janie made it into the vault.
Well,
even though she's...
Do we?
Well,
let's assume.
It's assumed that Janie made it into the vault. Even though we know she was with Cooper at the time of the bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, we saw their pods in the last episode.
Well, we saw her name.
Right.
We saw a pod
And
reserved
so far,
for her.
Right. You don't get to see the silhouettes even.
Right. To be fair, we only saw Barb's name too. We didn't see either one of them actually in their pods.
Wouldn't it suck if they weren't in there? You're like, come on.
That was the first thing I said.
Don't do this to us.
They're dead.
Yeah, or he learns that they're actually dead somewhere.
Yeah.
Or they just stop working or something like that.
The whole point I was trying to make, though,
That's
is
happened
that
in Fallout before.
the bombs are still in our flashbacks. I'm going to say months, if not a year away from where we're currently seeing.
Well, the problem with California is you can't really tell. It's not temperate.
No, you can't base it
so
on
you can't really tell what time of year it is because it's that year.
I'm basing it on what we heard while Cooper was at that birthday party. We hear the guys talking about the rumors about him. They make reference to like, this is what he has to do for alimony now. And obviously his career took a dump. All of those things take a little bit of time.
We get a little bit out of it from the last episode. The last episode was talking about the Anchorage Summit where they were putting to bed the 11-year Alaskan front, that whole Anchorage thing, whatever, that whole thing, that was going on during the summit was still going on during the first episode where the bombs drop. And they were about to have peace. So Vaultec would have no need to exist because if there's peace, why the bombs drop?
I guess I missed that in the last episode.
Soon. The bombs are dropping very soon. Remember, the summit happened around the same time, maybe even days or a day. The Anchorage Summit. It's tight.
A divorce with minors, you're looking at a minimum of 18 months.
And that's entirely possible. And I would say even this much. His career probably tanked so much and so fast that they had to replace him with the Vault Boy, not Pit Boy, and basically pretend he never existed very, very fast. Let's pile on to my me being wrong thing, is that I said, oh, Hank is there to deliver the cold fusion, not to Rob House, but to Diane Welch. Wrong. See,
she still could be in the Enclave.
Could be, it could be a misdirect, and she ultimately.
This could push
they
her.
End up getting it anyway.
Like you said, I think you said this could like push her to go through with
faster.
Whatever it was.
She might still be a player. Howard might go to her for help.
Sure.
In some way or
But
another.
meanwhile, she could just be a nice politician, and we just made up stories.
She's very unassuming, though, so I
Yeah.
would like to see her in like a surprising
I would
role.
too.
Right, like she's evil, but she's very
Surprisingly-
monotone.
Yep.
But like, is it evil, right? See,
No.
this is the thing where we get into good intentions, or you see things from the other side. And Hank, you could
a lot of gray areas in this show.
see just like the super mutant. What if Hank feels like, I don't know why. What if Hank sees this as his way of something's coming? It's the Enclave, right? Because he's probably aware of them by now. What if this is his way of reordering his own reclamation day to beat the Enclave at their own game? Because the Enclave wants to clear the surface I'm channeling Karina, for their own purposes. Clear it out so we can just start over. USA, war.
What is it good for?
War never changes. That being said, thank you for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful journey through Fallout.
Oh my gosh. This was a long journey.
And we got 2 more episodes to go. Friends, join us for our coverage in the chat for not only this series, but also the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The studio details are in our pinned posts. They will be updated over the weekend to account for next week's recordings. We'll be talking about the second episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We'll be reacting to it for the first time. we're seeing it for the first time, so you in the chat could react to our reaction as we entertain you with our laughter. And also join us for the penultimate episode of season 2. And hey, you can fact check us in real time like you tend to do in the comments to all our TikTok clips and our YouTube videos, which I have to get back to you on. I'm sorry. Now we're doing 2 series a week now again. So that's our life now. And buy our merch, because I spent time doing that. A lot of time, a whole weekend. It's really nice if you just looked at it. So that's all I care about. I just want to get your bit. See, I need more Bridgets and Rachels to say, hey, good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. Well, I'm going to get you a hat, so that's fine. You just tell me what you want. I'll get it for you.
We want my money. We want money.
I want to get... Okay, fine. But I don't give you any money. So
Dave,
anyways,
I'll take a free hat.
I've been your host, David Cameo. Yours, specifically your host, Rob.
Yes.
And I was joined by...
Me. I'm also your host, CosmoMom09.
And this guy, Rob, at Rob Stuff and Things on TikTok and YouTube.
And this guy, Jason, and Neo's the one.
And this guy says good night. Sweethearts, it's
Bye.
over 3 hours unedited.
Oh my god.
Grab that while you can. It is incredible content of us going to pee.
We got real weird.
How much of that Rafi Silver am I going to keep in the ultimate episode? Find out more in the published episode, folks.
Do you want to see the picture I sent her?
Yes.
I
Bye,
know
everybody.
you do.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Good night, and all the other things. Maybe you're watching this in the morning. Good morning.
Bye.
Have a breakfast sandwich.
It's morning
Go
somewhere.
Bodega.
Bye, everybody.
I love you. That's it. Holy
Oh, jeez.
that's amazing. Well, you could tell he's flexing his face off right now. Thank you yet again for making it to the end of yet another episode of Squawking Dead. This one, Fallout's 6th episode of its 2nd season, titled The Other Player. So many other players, so many other Whisperers members that have been joining us, and it's been so pleasant to have Rob and Jason along for the ride. I love their insights. I love that they're just even there, beaming their support our way. It makes such a difference. And you too could join the Whisperers and be a part of these episode discussions, or even just for free in the real-time chat in the studio. The details of which you can get either from our Ko-fi or Patreon pages. And speaking of that, another perk that all members receive at the end of every episode is recognition. Walkers will receive visual recognition at the end of every episode. Whispers and survivors will receive special shoutouts at the end. And I should also mention, if you make it this far, and it's something that I have to actually adjust in our call to action, you can also buy shoutouts on our Ko-fi page, whether you're a member or not. You can get anywhere between a simple fan shout out to, if you are a business of some kind or if you are trying to promote something, you can buy ad reads at the beginning, middle, or end of any given episode for as many episodes as you want. There are also add-ons for each of our little ad offers, ranging from more time to us producing your ad. Take a moment to check those out on our Ko-fi page. If you head there, you can just head to the requests section. It's all detailed there. And if you have any questions, our DMs are always open. You can always message us there or info@squawkingdead.com. Moving back to our Whispers members, 2 of whom were actually in this episode, a third of which we'll start with first, actually. Kim.Rally, the number 1 on Facebook. Rob, of course, on TikTok at Rob's Stuff _ and his Nancy _ Thangs, THANGS. And of course, Jason, you can reach everywhere basically, but try Instagram first and move your way up. At Neo's the One, that's NEOS1HEONE. And in case you hadn't figured it out, because the Fallout on Prime account announced it just this week, last minute, yesterday on Monday, January the 26th. They basically dialed back the release of their final 2 episodes, the 7th and 8th and final episode of the season, a couple of hours earlier. So instead of dropping on midnight Eastern US time on Wednesdays, they released the episode only a few hours ago, actually, on Tuesday, January 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern US time. I'm guessing this is because of the fan demand. Got many complaints of immediately wanting the next episode after the prior episode dropped. For those of you who are just going to end up binging at the end of this run, may I remind you that when season 1 came out, it came out all in one shot. So we were behind the 8 ball for about 2 months after everybody had watched it already too. Because when we jumped on it, it wasn't right away too. That being said, it's time for me to end this recording and actually watch that episode since it's been out for a few hours. And we'll be covering it on our podcast in the studio on Thursday. So remember to follow us for free on either our Ko-fi or Patreon page, and you'll be notified when we record our thoughts so that you can join us with your own thoughts that will make it into every episode, because you got to remember that we, you, me, and everybody are Squawking Dead.